Hey, little babies. It's noon time with Harold, local news on a roundabout way, and I am the big boy with the big H with the mustache on his face. H and face kind of rhyme. H, face, or ace, face. Anyways, hi. Today's episode. Oh, my timer's going off. Alexa, stop timer. Good start. Today's episode is brought to you by a Facebook video I made last week before I ended up at the hospital to take care of my girlfriend whose appendix exploded. She's alive. She's Gucci. She's laying in bed. But it means that my planned interview did not happen. So today's episode will be the audio pulled from my Sprayberry apology video. In an effort to make peace and bring the community together, I went to Sprayberry BBQ, stood outside in an empty building, and issued an apology. It is heartfelt. It was inspired after watching Grease, the greatest musical movie of all time. And I hope one day they hear it. And I hope today you hear it. I love you.
Good afternoon. This weekend, I reflected. I stand here today not as a performer, not as a personality, not as the voice behind Newnan Time with Harold, but as someone who owes this community and one of its most established institutions a serious and long overdue apology. This didn't come from backlash. It didn't come from a meeting. It didn't come from anyone pulling me aside and saying I needed to fix this for Newnan. It came late last night, alone, sitting in my car outside a closed business, listening to Grease, the original soundtrack from the motion picture. And somewhere between track after track, I had a moment. A long, uncomfortable, can't look away from it kind of moment. I realized I've been acting like everything was electrifying, when underneath it, something wasn't right at all. For the first 15,000 followers of Newnan Time with Harold, I built something. From downtown Newnan to Ashley Park, from Summer Grove to the Link. From market day mornings before the roads close to the late night conversations that always seem to circle back to the same places that define this town. And through all of it, I kept coming back to one place. Sprayberry's barbecue. Not because I didn't like it. Not because I had anything against it. But because it was easy. Because it's not just a restaurant, it's history, it's identity. It's the place everyone knows, the place everyone points to. It's the kind of place that feels like it'll always be there, like it goes together with Newnan itself. And I took what Sprayberry's brings to Newnan, and I turned it into a shortcut. I made it a reoccurring punchline, a guaranteed reaction. I told myself it was harmless. I was punching up. I told myself it was all just for local humor. I told myself what I was doing was good for the community. But that's how you justify things when you don't want to look too closely in the mirror. And sitting there that night, last night, listening to Grease, the greatest musical movie of all time, I realized something I didn't want to admit. I'd become hopelessly devoted to the bit of making fun of Sprayberries. Not to what was actually fair. I kept going back to the same name, the same reference, the same easy laugh, and the same easy laughers. I was stuck in a routine. When I didn't want to break, I told myself I was part of the story, when really, I was just sharing someone else's. And I hate that about myself. Because Sprayberry's BBQ is not a prop for Newnan Time with Harold anymore. It's not a bit. It's not something I get to pull off the shelf whenever I need a quick laugh, because Sprayberry's BBQ, more than Harold could ever be, is part of Newnan. It's part of people's lives here. It's something that has been here long before me and will be here long after whatever I'm doing is gone. I have treated it like it was just the one that I want when I needed content. But really, it's the one that I want to respect. A lesson that Grease taught me. The motion picture soundtrack. This is on me. It's not on the audience. I don't blame you, Newnan. I don't blame the format. I don't blame satire. I blame me. I don't even blame Rizzo for having dreams that go far beyond the school that they went to in Greece. Me. So let me say this clearly. I'm sorry. No joke. No punchline. There's no twist. It's just an apology. Like Danny made to Sandy when he embarrassed her in Grease, the motion picture. Musical. If I'm going to do this, if I'm going to speak up to this community in any way and be heard, then I have to respect the things that actually matter in it. I can't keep acting like I'm above it all, like I can just hand jive my way through it and everything will land the same forever. I live here. This matters. And I didn't treat it like it did. But I want to. Because I don't want to keep being the guy who's stuck playing the same role, repeating the same moves, acting like everything is still summer lovin' when I know I've missed the point. I want to change it. This is a message to the next 15,000 followers of Newnan Time with Harold. The rest of Harold is not going to be shortcuts. It's not going to come from repetition. It's not going to come from leaning on something just because it's familiar, easy, and right down the road from where I live. That would be like Danny relying on his leather jacket when there's so much more to his personality in Greece. The change is going to come from doing this the right way, from being better. From actually supporting the community I claim to represent. Whether you are a Thunderbird or a Pink Lady, together we are all Newnan. I want to turn these next 15,000 followers into 15,000 customers. I want people that walk into Sprayberry's not because they saw a joke and wanted to check it out, but because they were reminded why it has survived here for as long as it has. Why has Sprayberry's been here? Why does it deserve to keep being here? That's why. Sprayberry's and this town is not just content to me. I've been in Coweta since I was 2 years old, coming from Childersburg, Alabama. And can you imagine coming from somewhere to a new place? Perhaps you meet someone on the beach before you get here. Like in Greece. Newnan is not something I'm passing through. I'm home. And making fun of specific places does not treat it like home. That would be like treating a girl one way when you're on the beach, and then when you're seeing them at school, you treat them a totally different way. And that would be wrong. No one should have to wear leather to impress someone and change their ways. And I am tired of wearing leather against Sprayberry's barbecue like in the hit musical movie Grease. This isn't just a statement. This is a correction. This is me finally stepping up and realizing that you can't build something real if you're standing on something you didn't ever respect. That would be like Danny. Never mind. Today, and all the days going forward, to the next 15,000, to the drive-in movies, to the theme parks, to the nights of the fair, to when Sandy does her hair up, all doodad. We are choosing to respect Newnan and not just use the same punchlines over and over and over and over and over and over and over. I am Newnan Time with Harold. This is Sprayberry's barbecue. And together, we can change the world in a roundabout way. I will now take questions. Anyone? Anyone? No? Okay. What? No. Newnan, the future is bright. I will be the headlights. If you will be the greaser in the back. Because, at the end of the day, we are all grease lightning.
I die. I live again.